Types of conveyances and key elements. A conveyance is the legal process by which we transfer real estate from one owner to another. We do this with a series of deeds. Some basic deeds are a warranty deed, and that's a deed that guarantees clear title to the buyer of real property. A quitclaim deed is a form of conveyance where whatever interest the grantor possesses is conveyed to the grantee without warranty of title. There's also the trustee's deed, which establishes a trust. It generally is an instrument that conveys legal title to a property to a trustee and states his authority and the conditions binding upon him in dealing with this trust. Frequently, trust deeds are used to secure lenders against loss, and that way they are similar to mortgages. Some less common deeds include a special warranty deed, which is where the grantor warrants the title against defects after he acquired the land, but not against defects before he acquired the land. There's also the corporate deed. That's a deed where the grantor is a corporate entity. We also have executor's deeds, which is used to transfer real property from the estate of a deceased person to an heir pursuant to the terms of a will. Now, in an administrator's deed, that's used to transfer property from the estate of a deceased person where there is no will. We also have a sheriff's deed, and this gives ownership rights to a property bought at a sheriff's sale for settling a court judgment. Now, we see this in cases of mortgage foreclosure and property tax non-payment. Some key elements to deeds include the recording data, which lists the county, the recorder's office or county clerk's office, document number, book and page, or other location type, the date of recording, the recording fee. We also have the grantor as the seller, the grantee as the buyer, and the consideration. This is the amount paid between the grantor and the grantee that makes it a legally binding contract. Now, typically, the consideration is not the actual buying price. It's listed as $1 or $10. It's just enough to make sure that the conveyance is legal. We also have the legal description. It can be on the first page or it can be listed as an exhibit. Sometimes multiple parcels or tracts are filed per deed. I've seen some legal descriptions on deeds last for several pages. There's also the addendum clause. This defines the type of interest and rights to be enjoyed by the grantee, often listed as to have and to hold. The tax ID number and a notary has also been included more recently. This is a warranty deed, and we are going to look at it in depth. This is the recording data. It's hard to see, but it lists Macon County, and here it has Mary A. Eaton as the recorder. It says that this instrument is recorded as Book 426, page 958. There is a recording fee of $40, and the date that it was recorded was October 27th, 2009. The introductory paragraph spells out the grantor, the grantee, and the consideration. So, Sharon K. Stein is the grantor, and we have a consideration of $5,000, and then it also says other good and valuable consideration in hand pay. Now, this basically is where we are making this a legally binding contract. So then they've paid it, now they're going to convey and warrant to the grantee, the city of Decatur, the following described real estate, which leads us into the legal description. The legal description here is stated as Lot 3, Block 3 in Fairview Place, in addition to the city of Decatur, as per plat recorded in Book 149, page 615 of the records of the Recorder's Office in Macon County, Illinois. It's extremely beneficial to us when doing research that the book and page is listed for Fairview Place. This means that we can find this information much more quickly so that we can retrace Lot 3 of Block 3. This is basically your general notary statement. And this here is a trustee's deed. As we can see, it is between Pontiac National Bank, and it sets up a trust with the trust number given, and that has terms, and in those terms they are binding on the trustee in how they are to handle the property as discussed previously. And we still have a consideration of $10 and other good and valuable consideration. This makes it legally binding. And we are going to grant, convey, and in this case, quitclaim to the John E. Paring estate. And as I said before, sometimes our legals are on attached sheet as shown over here. This is another quitclaim deed, and we have the grantor listed as Ronald E. Holt, and we have this same consideration. This time it's going to be $1 and other good and valuable consideration, and he is going to then convey and quitclaim to the grantee Kimberly Holt. As we look at this executor's deed, we can see where John E. Paring right here has deceased, and through reading this we find out that there's an executor of the state and that they have read the will, and right here it says will of John E. Paring, and we find out that there is a grantee, and per his will he is going to grant, sell, and convey to Reva Paring as the next trustee of the Paring family testamentary. So in this case, we're seeing where he has passed away, and per his will, he is going to give that land, he's going to grant, sell, and convey that land to the next person.